Figured it was about time for another update, so this will be the March update on the 75. We'll also take a look at the 25-gallon tank that I have in this short video as well. Things doing pretty good. We're moving in the right direction. I'm really happy with how things are going in the 75. We're not where I want it to be, but like I said, we are headed in the right direction. The chain swords, they seem to be spreading, which is really what I was going for. I may trim them back again. You can see there's a little bit of discoloration going on here. I need to get some more root tabs underneath them, I guess. The last time I got root tabs, I only got 10 of them instead of the 25, and so I didn't have nearly as many as I would like to have spread around. I've got tons of fry. The fry's starting to get older. Some of the original swordtail fry, and they just look like mini fish now at this point. It's a lot of fun to see them grow up. I'll tell you, these swordtail fry are really cute. If you're looking for a live bear that is cool to watch grow up, these are great. Those big eyes, everybody loves them. I do have a air stone running in the back here that I do plan on putting another sponge filter on, but I've just got it running back there to increase the oxygen, the flow in this tank. I like having it, and I plan on adding the sponge filter, so might as well let it run. Still not totally happy with the substrate. I've got a few ideas of some things that I may try. I need to pull some of this out, and I still need to remove some of the lava rock, which in here you can see I've taken a piece of the Java Fern that's been doing so well over in the 25, and I've glued it to a piece of lava rock and left it in the 75. This way I can move it where I would like to have it. And just kind of watching to see how it does. You all know I've had trouble with Java Fern in this tank, so this is just an idea to see what I could do to fix that. My Anubias Nana Petite, I really need to adhere it to something, but I don't want to adhere it to this piece of driftwood because I do plan on removing it and putting in a bigger piece. This will probably go in the 25 or maybe something else. I haven't decided yet, but it's yeah, it keeps coming up. You can see here where it's come loose. There's also some pieces of that cardinal plant in here, and those are going to be removed and planted. You can see that the stem plants that I got not too long ago weren't doing great. I don't know, maybe I need some more root tabs underneath them. Again, I'm going to be picking up some soon, but yeah, it's just not looking great on these stem plants, which is normal for me. I do have the light turned up, and I was thinking the other day, maybe I need to dial the light down some. Maybe they're getting too much light. Is that possible? And of course, I've got some algae showing up. You can see this. I don't really know if it's a hair algae. It kind of looks more like a staghorn algae, but it's grown in this really long strand. It's kind of cool looking, to be honest with you. I'm letting it help filter. I've also got some blackbeard coming up on the valve, and that happened after I cut the valve. These swordtail are my favorite. I love these. I did realize, I think after I filmed this, that one of my female pineapple swordtail is actually a male. He just started showing here recently. He just swam into this scene as well. You can see the one with the gravid spot, really dark spot. She's about to have some fry, but there's another one. My little red guy back there is looking kind of thin. I keep trying to keep him fed. I've had an issue recently where I've lost one molly and one guppy due to thinning in this tank, and so I have treated the whole tank, the whole 75, with Paracleanse. I'm gonna try Paracleanse. I've ran Levamisol in this tank not too long ago, sometime late last year. So I thought I'd try Paracleanse before I look into something else. I've dealt with live bear disease before. The swordtails haven't seemed to be impacted by it. And that male, he's thin, but he's not thin. He's not very big. but he doesn't look like he's thinning. I don't see any sunken in areas. I don't see any issues with the scales. You can see a lot of fry swimming around back here, as well as all the Corydoras. I've got a pretty good school of Corys going on, mostly greens, but you know, those greens are a species called Aenus, and they also are bronze. So it's the coloration that makes them different from what I can tell. And I've got a couple that are more bronze and the rest are green. This is a spike that came off of one of my Amazon swords, and it has 6 plantlets growing on it. I'm really excited to have these 6 Amazon swords. I don't have plans for most of them, but you know, I will put one of them over in the 25, and then I'm either going to be setting up a 10-gallon or a 20-gallon for my daughter. I'll probably put 1 or 2 in there. I might put 3 in there. I know they'll outgrow it, but I'll probably hang on to those 3 and maybe get rid of 2 or 3. Share them with the club. My crypts are starting to grow back. You can see the Wendidii, or whatever you want to call it, seem to be coming back. I've got both the green variety and the regular. There's also a couple of Tropica in here and a Crypt Spiralis. Hoping to see all these come back. I've been working really hard to keep them fed and keep root tabs underneath them. I'd love to get the crypts growing again. I love my crypts. Here's a better picture of these 2 species growing right next to one another, and you can see they're pretty healthy. They're doing really well. And yes, that is a mystery snail shell in the back. That's an old leftover from an old shell left over from a mystery snail that we had years ago. I've thought about getting another one. I really love having mystery snails, but I don't feel like they live all that long in my tank. I know they're only supposed to live like a couple of years, and that could be wrong, but that's what I've been told, and I've never had one of mine live 2 years. So there's something wrong with me, and I don't like killing animals. So I need to do some more research before I get another. But I just love watching them go across the substrate. They remind me of a Jeep out four-wheeling. I don't know why that's what I think of. That's what I think of. See that one black molly? That's the last full-grown molly that I have left. She's put out a few more fry, so you can see a few black and speckled fry swimming around in here. Once they're gone, I'm done with mollies. I also put some Anubias Nana Petite on some of this Java rock to see if I could grow it. This was so I could move it to other tanks and then also maybe share a piece or 2. Just trying it out. I've never glued Anubias down to a Java rock like that, so I thought I would try it. And in here you can see I have added a few pieces of Buse, Bucephalandra from a culture that I picked up at one of my local stores. It seems to be doing pretty good. I did glue it to the rock so that I can move it around because that's just what I'm trying right now. I did not plan on leaving these rocks here, but I kind of like the look of it. So when I moved the lava rock, volcano rock, when I moved the lava, I'm having trouble with that today. When I move the lava rock, I'll probably leave these bigger rocks in this area somehow. And you can see that Buse back there in the back. There's a few leaves that are yellowing. It is, you know, it's having to transition. It was a culture, but it's done really well. I think it's done really well with the transition. There's a little bit of algae on my large Anubias. Just like I said, I'm going to turn back the light. Just trying to do small changes over time so I can see what works. All right, now we're in the 25 gallon. The 25 gallon is a wreck. It's kind of cool, but at the same time, it is not a show tank whatsoever. It is full of guppies. Guppy Endlers, to be precise. They are, I realize Endlers aren't guppies, but I have Endlers and guppies mixed. And so yeah, every now and then I get a more Endler looking male thrown off, and also some of the females. I think the females with the spotted tails are more guppy, but the females that are just plain are more inler. That's what I've been told. If you've heard that, please comment below. If you've heard something different, let me know. This tank is growing out my Sawassertang, and I love it. It's made this carpet along the front, and it's awesome. I love the Sawassertang. I'm glad that I finally got a hold of some. You can see this tank, the lighting's not that great. It has nothing to do with the light. It has a really thick layer of frog bit on the top. And so there is not a lot of light getting through, which is why, you know, I'm keeping low light plants in here, and my Java fern's doing pretty good. You can't see it in any of these images. You'll see it here in a minute. I also have some guppy grass in here, just kind of some random stuff all growing together. I am keeping Easy Green in this tank, trying to keep everything fed and growing. But the guppies are doing great. You see the substrate's a little dirty. I did clean it after this. I can't gravel vac, but I used a turkey baster that I have specifically for that. We won't use it on any turkeys. You might see some of my blue diamond shrimp in here that I got from the Garden of Eder. I love these shrimp. They're doing amazing. I do have some fry from the shrimp that have grown up. I haven't seen any fry. I haven't seen any of the tiny ones, but things are so thick in this tank it would be hard to spot them. This is a Amazon sword that came off of one of my other swords, so it came off of a spike. I planted it out in the pond. It did pretty well over last summer in the pond. And so this pot that it's in does have soil, but you can see it's not doing so great in the tank. I may take it out of the pot, put it in the substrate. This is a shrimp cave that I picked up at one of my local stores. Aquatic Marine sells them. It's just like a ceramic shape with holes in it. And I picked it up because I wanted the blue diamond shrimp to have a fighting chance against all of these mollies. Molly's on the brain with all these guppies. So it's a place they can go to get away. You can see I've got a couple of stem plants there in the back. Not doing so well. I need to just go ahead and pull them, move them over to the 75. They'll do better over there for sure. But there's just not a lot of light here. You can see my mixed inler guppy tuxedos that are swimming around. That's what I ended up with. I didn't do any culling other than the guppies that I shared, but that's how they're doing. And here is my masterpiece, the Java fern, that's finally doing well. It's doing well in the low light over here in the 25, so I'm glad to see it doing well. I've always had problems with Java fern turning brown and mushy and just melting away, and I have seen some of that in this tank. I've been really laying the Easy Green to it, trying to make sure it's getting enough potassium, and things seem to be going well. I do just run a sponge filter in this tank. I am about to add a second sponge filter to the tank. I'm going to pick up a couple of medium sponge filters, the Aquarium Co-op sponge filters from Aquatic Marine, probably this weekend. And I'm going to add, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that small that's in the 75 over to this tank and then set up the two mediums in the 75. Eventually that small will come out from my daughter's tank. The Nacris is doing great in this tank. I love having this plant. You can also see all the roots from this really thick layer of frog bit on the top, and the fish love it. They absolutely love swimming through this. The shrimp also hang out in it. I credit all of this floating at the top to the survivability of all the fish and shrimp that are in this tank. Plus it keeps the parameters great. I have no issues with this tank. It's never, I mean, it's always in the higher range of the low range of nitrates. I mean, it's always above 20, but it's never above 40. It does well. And I mean, when I change the water, you know, the nitrates of course come down, but they're right back up, and it just stays right there. It's like it's found its level. I have never let it go more than just, I've never let it go 2 weeks without a water change though. I'm just too worried about the amount of fish in here. Like I said, I do plan on getting rid of some of these. I'm going to keep some to put in the pond. We're just, you know, about a month or so away from being able to move them to the pond. and we're looking forward to having them outside again. Well, that's going to be it for this update. Thanks for checking out the channel. I appreciate all the support that you've given. Thanks for coming to the Tuesday night live streams on Scruffy City Aquatics. Tanner and I have a blast. We love talking with y'all and having the conversations that we have. But if you liked this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe so that you know what's going on. Also, check out the East Tennessee Aquatic Association. That's my local fish club. You can find them on YouTube. But yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you enjoy your tanks.